Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Evolve Flow Express. Today, we're going to be talking about navigating spaces that we don't necessarily feel like is our comfort zone and how best to do that, especially for us sometimes as Black women. We have a hard time fitting into those places and understanding that we can actually make our own lane. So, today, I have with me Tiki, aka Nubit, but she is a multifaceted creative, and I'm going to give her some time to go ahead and introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Tiki. I'm a mother of four. Um, I'm a traveler. I'm a
Oh,
creative.
she look good.
I I'm also a life coach. Many things. One thing I am is someone of love, and that's something I like to share with everyone.
Okay, awesome. So my first question for you is going to be, when you have ever, I guess, in your life experience, have walked into spaces that you felt like, I don't know if I really belong here. How did you necessarily navigate that moment or just navigate through those spaces and make sure that you still kept your confidence walking through it?
Sometimes, especially for us brown women, when we go places, we naturally feel small.
Yeah.
First we are already self-conscious of hair, nails. Am I fitting in? Am I doing right?
Hmm.
Am I speaking right? So we're already doing all these different things to change ourselves to someone else's narrative.
Yeah.
I've learned over time that being myself is the best that I can ever be.
Mm,
That's something I can't mess up. That's something that no one else can make change but me.
yeah.
So what I've learned is when I do go in spaces, and I've been in many, because sometimes I've been to places where I'm the only one who wore my own hair. I'm the only one don't have makeup, or I'm serious. I'm the only one a little. I got my dress is a little long. Everybody else is wearing showing more skin. So I
Yeah.
have been in those arenas, or they lighter, they darker, different things like that. But I learned when I started really loving me
Hmm.
and getting into my confidence and building up me,
Yeah.
that everybody else got their smile, but keep mine.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You hear that? Keep your smile.
Yes, keep
Okay.
your smile.
Yes, I love that. I feel like a lot of us need to know that, especially like being younger in the crowd, you're trying to figure out certain things. Like even yesterday I went to the Black Effect podcast festival, and there was so many people that weren't necessarily like me. A lot of people had different looks and everything like that, but I also realized that everybody was confident in what they did and who they were. So it kind of helped me feel a little bit more comfortable with being confident in what I had to offer, who I was, how I was walking and carrying myself. And then I went somewhere else as well, and a Black man was like, "Oh, I love that you have your natural hair out," and da da da. Da." And so it made me feel a little bit more proud. But also, when I walked into the space, I realized ain't nobody else in here looking like me.
That's right.
But I felt comfortable and confident, so I think that that is a big point, definitely when you're in those spaces of like you're just trying to figure out how to get your groove on, just keep going through it. It's a little bit difficult at first, I feel like, when you get into that
Yeah,
mindset shift, but I think that it's really good to actually grasp onto I gotta know me and believe in me and understand that if I walk with my own confidence, everybody's gonna see that within the way that I carry myself.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And that will determine too, how you navigate or go towards a person. If your intentions for the event that you're attending
Mhm.
are positive, that's the energy you're going to generate.
Yeah.
And you want to be magnetized to that.
Yeah.
So, if anything, if your confidence is, hey, I'm positive, I'm happy today, and this is what I am, that's what you're going to pull. So, don't always take yourself down to the negative or to the low, small space. Always stay up in the happy space of yourself.
Okay, I love that too. Okay, y'all, she's speaking life. She's speaking life in here. That's what we gotta realize. I feel like a lot of times we need that, because even through going through the changes of like having a podcast and the growth, even though it's not like just instant. It's more so gradual.
Mhm.
And over time, I'm like, oh, I got this. Oh, wow, this is happening. Yesterday, I got the chance to pitch my podcast with iHeartRadio. So it was another space. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of myself for feeling confident enough to go through that process and actually sit there in front of people that I don't know. They're in line watching me, and, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah." They can't really hear what you're saying, but they're watching. They're watching how you carry yourself. Are you confident in what you're talking about? your facial expressions as you're talking. And it makes you put blinders on in a sense to all of the riffraff of what people could be saying, what people's opinions are. And in a previous episode, I was speaking on that, saying that, you kind of have to not necessarily just not care, but you also do have to not care in a sense, about other people's opinions and how those things will affect you in your own process.
Yes, I have a saying that I tell people, stay tunnel vision on what your intentions are.
Oh, okay.
And that way, all the negative stuff is going to come. You got to be
Yeah.
tested. We got to see if it's true. Our
Yeah.
ancestors, they want to know, is this really you? Do you really want to do this thing? And if that's what you really want to do, stay tunnel vision and focused on what you're supposed to be doing. And it's going to happen.
I love that.
Look at what happened with you,
Yes.
girl. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But we through life experiences learn better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we learn. Just remember life is a learning experience. And if everybody start looking at the experiences as a form of learning,
Mhm.
the hurt lessens and the learning part grows. You start accepting, okay, what do I need to know from this?
Yeah.
Why am I feeling this way is a question that people need to ask.
Mhm.
And how I learned how to ask that question is looking in the mirror and asking it. It's a
Mm.
difficult task. It's difficult. Most people can't look in the mirror and say, I love that person that I see.
Yeah.
And that is hard. It was hard for me, so I know that's the truth.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But most people can't do that.
Yeah.
They can't look at their body and be like, girl.
Right, like,
They be like, uh-uh. You know what
right,
I
like,
mean?
I gotta do this. I gotta work
Yeah.
on myself.
Yeah, so that's the your self testing of yourself or self building, like we say in confidence. That is what helps no matter where you walk.
Yeah.
And like you and I are not pretty tall, but there are people shorter than us, okay?
Talking about my height, y'all.
There are people shorter than us
But
now, so
yeah.
I call myself
Mhm.
medium tall. But when I walk in a room, people think I'm tall. I've always worn heels. I always like when I used to see the ladies when I was younger, watching them wear. Of course, they used to wear shorter heels,
Mhm.
and just watching them like just look so feminine. And I was like, I want to be like that when I grow up.
Yeah.
So I practiced it until it became a part of me.
Mhm.
Till now, I wore heels so much that when people see me in flats, they be like, how'd
How'd
you
you
get so
get so
short?"
short?
And I was like, "I was always been this height,
And they
and my heels
asked
don't be
you.
too high. It's just that
Yeah.
I walk tall."
Mhm.
So they was like, "How is that?" And not until after a few moments of being asked this a couple of times, I had to start thinking about like, what is it?
Why they keep
And
asking
yeah, I'm
it?
questioning too. So I started walking in a mirror so I can see what do they see.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, girl, you got it. You got that walk." But that's my walk, but that's something that I practiced and I wanted to do.
Yes.
So one thing that we all, men and women can do
Mhm.
is what do you want to better about yourself?
Yeah.
You know, what is it you want to fix? Because we are our first,
Yeah.
doctor,
Our
our
doctor.
first,
Yeah.
our first critic, our first,
Yeah.
you know, uh, person who criticizes every thought, everything.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to fix about it?
Yeah.
You know,
And I think we're
we
the
got a habit
harshest
of,
ones too.
yeah, and we are. Oh my gosh, we're hard on ourselves, and then we don't have to be. But I've learned over time, just fix those little minute issues and start liking me.
Mhm.
Girl, I like that. I like this. Yeah, you know. And here I am. And
Yeah.
just like for instance,
Mhm.
I've been people say natural. We are born natural. We
Yeah.
just evolve into whatever's going on in our arena. When I was growing up, it was permed and jerry curl. So
Yeah.
all our hair was burning up somewhere, you know. But then when I became a young adult,
Mhm.
I didn't want it no more. And I used to work I grew up in Chicago,
Mhm.
and I worked at the Chicago Board of Trade. It's an interesting job. I did not work in the trade, I just worked in the building.
Oh,
And,
wow.
one day I used to come I'm working around a lot of, other cultures.
Yeah.
So I'm a little intimidated because although I perm in my hair, it don't bounce like theirs. I'm
Yeah.
just like, "This," but they want braids.
They want what you could get, what
And
you
I'm
could
just like
naturally get.
confused because I'm like, I don't even want to wear braids. I've been wearing braids. I don't want to do that. But they want braids
Mm.
and I want their hair. And I'm just a little confused.
Mm.
So one day I was just like, I'm gonna do something about this hair. And there was a lady, I forget her name at this time because this was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And she was the only black woman that had a nail salon downtown Chicago. Oh yeah,
Oh.
it wasn't easy. But she was the only one, but she was very good at what she did.
That
She
makes
had a
sense.
high
Yeah.
profile clientele. We
Ooh.
in the Chicago Board of Trade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
you
she's getting
you
all
gonna
those clients. And one day, I finally got to see her. I kept hearing about it, but I got to see her. She came in because I was like, "You actually come and do the fee?" She said, "Oh, these clients, I'm doing them. You know, my other girls, they at the shop, but I'm doing these clients. These are my high dollar clients."
yeah.
And I said, "Oh, okay, I understand." But what I liked about her was she had very, very short natural hair.
Oh.
And that wasn't something you could see at that time. You
Yeah.
know, this is the end of the 80s.
Okay. So yeah.
Beginning of 90s. We weren't wearing that, you know, we were stacking our hair in front and doing other stuff. And I was like, wow, I wonder how she could do that.
Mhm.
So one day I asked, how you walk around with that short hair? How you do that? And she was like, huh? She was like, what do you mean? I said, like, you got a short fro. How do you do that? But all her clients do not look like
Do
her.
not look like her.
She
Yeah.
said, oh, I love me.
Oh, okay. See?
She said, I
Keep
love me.
going. Love yourself.
Yeah, she said, "Yeah." She said, "I love me." So, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. She said, "I mean,
Yes.
when I was growing up, my hair was like this. I tried all the stuff. I got tired of all the things that we have to go through to look like, and
Yeah.
I just cut it all off."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try that one day." I kept saying it to one day I actually did it.
Mm.
And I was like, "Can I get your barber's name? Your barber's name?" And she gave it to me, and it was a female barber, and her hair was short.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was just so amazed to go see her. She got the little lines because they be doing themselves
Yeah, with
up.
the
And I was like, I want to cut off all my hair. And at the time, my hair was like about right here. And
Yeah.
she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I want it gone." You know,
Yeah.
I want it gone. And she cut it off and she said, "Can I just do a little bit of difference to you that I don't do with everyone else?" And she gave me this one little bag for my reminder of what my hair was.
Oh.
And yeah, and I walked around. I am very, very different than anybody at this time,
Yeah.
especially in my spaces.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work and everybody's staring like, what you do
Everybody,
to your
she
hair?
got this.
What happened?"
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, even when I went home to my family, I'm sitting and, we have stoops, like the little brownstone stoops,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting on them, and I'm watching my mom, my aunt, everybody walk past, they all talking and blah, 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 and they asked where I was, and I was like, "I'm sitting right here," and everybody was shocked. They was like, "Oh my gosh, why did you do that? I didn't even know who you were." And I was like, "Wow, this really changed me." But I got
Yeah.
degraded. I didn't get, like, "Oh, it looked nice." I get not a compliment at
And
all.
see, that's one thing I've realized definitely in our communities. We are so big on, oh, long hair. If your hair is long, even if it's damaged, don't cut it. Why would you cut your hair? I remember I went into a salon and I told her I said, I want a fade. I want a temp fade and I want the top to just curl and that's how I want my hair. I was so through with my hair. It was about right here at the time, which is longer now, but she did not wanna cut my hair. She said, "Please don't cut your hair. Your hair is so pretty," and it's like, it is pretty, but for me, I guess because I've cut my hair different times in my life. I cut my hair when I was 11. I didn't care, I it was like, boom, like, and everybody was like, "You cut your hair? Your hair was this big old fro," and I was fine with it, as a
Mhm.
kid, I didn't even really care anything about, "Oh, they're gonna look at me and think I'm a boy," or anything like that. It was just I felt free, I felt much
Right.
lighter, I felt good, and 2 years later, my hair grew right back, and anyway, so at this time now, I'm a young adult, not really young adult, I'm early into my 20s, and the lady did not wanna cut my hair, and I'm just
Oh,
thinking
wow.
like, "It's my hair. It's
But your
my hair."
hair, your
So,
hair,
it's
you're not
fine.
gonna for
I let her press it out and everything like that, but I at one point, even after that, I got a little scissor happy, and I started cutting my hair anyway, so I feel like, everybody has their different experiences where they hold on to their hair as their personality, as a part of who they are. And just like the song NDRE made, "I'm not my hair." And
my
that's a
hair.
true statement. You're
That's right.
not your hair. If you change up your hair, yes, it does change up your persona, but if you are the same person, the same personality walking around, it really didn't change you. It's
Mhm.
just a change of look. And sometimes it might be the change that you need also sometimes to just shift your mindset, shift your whole arena of things. A lot of times when women change up their hair so drastically, they usually say a woman is that's a changed woman.
Right.
She's changing her hair. She's a different woman. She's becoming a different woman.
Mhm.
And I felt that even I had locks before. I felt that when I took my locks out, like, okay, this is it's a new me coming
That's right.
into space. So I need to, I need to go ahead and
Yes.
I get rid of this look. It looked nice. I had, nice locks, but it wasn't me anymore. It wasn't how I really wanted to represent myself. Not to say that it changed me, but I was already changing. So I changed my hair to match what was inside.
Oh,
So
yes, of
yeah,
course. Yes, and hair holds energy.
it really does.
And when you
Yeah.
unlock that energy, you just realize I didn't really need that.
I didn't need it. Yeah. And I got my locks at a time frame where I wasn't really feeling great about myself and my life experience. So I don't think it's for everybody to take out their locks. Some people are
Right.
good with what they have. But for me personally, it wasn't gonna work for me any longer. But yeah, so I
Okay.
felt that was just too much. But we're gonna go ahead and take a break. And we're gonna go ahead and just kind of woosah for a moment. We'll be back.
Woosah. I like breathing.
So we're back. So I would like to ask you, with you being a multifaceted creative, how did that kind of shift your mindset on dealing with different people or just being around different types of cultures, different, because you already said that you worked in that trade building, so I know that you were already around a lot of people, but
Hmm.
in terms of you growing with your own experience of working with clients, doing things for them, how did it change your mindset?
Um, Dealing with different personalities. For instance, I do sew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do bookkeeping. I do a
Okay,
lot of different
okay,
things. As a housewife,
okay.
I learned that it's best to hone in and learn skills,
Mm-hmm.
use them when necessary, than finding out like later on when your family is at a financial trouble, I don't know what to do.
Mm,
You can choose now.
mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot of skills. My mom taught me to sew when I was a teenager, though. So now, at one time, I worked with with a couple of people around Atlanta, and we worked with different artists.
Mm.
Like for instance, I think it's David Anthony,
Oh, David Anthony. I love his
uh,
music.
him and
Yeah.
Altra.
Oh, yes.
They were
Yes.
singing for Obama and them in Chicago.
Oh,
We
okay.
were making those outfits that y'all see them
Oh.
wearing, and I did not know him from nobody. Love his song, but I was just never really into the artist. I've been around a lot of artists,
Mhm.
entertainers, because my ex-husband's into fashion, and we were around a lot of entertainers, and I
Yeah.
learned being around them that they're people, and if you don't treat them like people, people will be, oh my gosh, no, and they'll use you up.
Mhm.
And I didn't like to be used. It doesn't feel good. Don't be used.
Yeah. No.
And so being around them, I learned that they're people and this is the job. Stay focused on the job. I had to be
Yeah.
tunnel vision on what I'm doing and
Mhm.
not on who I'm doing it for.
Okay.
And just like for instance with him, he came to the showroom and we were sewing his stuff and he was like, "Oh, just talking." I said, "Oh, that voice sounds familiar, but I'm focused on what I'm doing because I don't want to mess up."
Mhm.
And I'm doing it, but he came and touched my shoulder, you know. And I've learned that if people don't want to be touched, don't touch them.
Yeah.
I learned how to ask, would you like a hug? Because I've been around a lot of people who we've had tragedies in our family, and people come and hug you, and oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want me to hug you? Do you want me to hold your hand? Do you want to be
Yeah.
touched? And one girl broke down crying and said, "You're the only one asked. Oh my gosh, thank you." And she hugged me really hard
Oh,
one time when I
wow.
went to an event. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And I just let her release. I didn't know what to say. But
Yeah,
that's all she needed was a release, but it's hard to release when people got this expectation. She want this, she needs that,
and not
Yes.
asking.
And
Mm,
yeah, and that's not what it was. She just
yeah.
needed a release.
Mm.
So I let her release. She cried for a long time, but but she needed it.
Yeah.
Um, but with him, yeah, he touched me and I was like, "Boy, you very touchy." And the person I was working with, she was like, "Tiki." And I said, "He's touchy. I mean, I just didn't ask him to touch me. Watching what I'm doing, he's in my space. I'm okay with that, but touch me, I got a problem with that."
Yeah.
And it's not like he touched me inappropriately. He just tapped me on my shoulder, but I was just bothered because I'm focused on what I'm doing. And that was my one distraction. I wound up apologizing though. And he was just like, "Oh, okay, okay." But he learned after a while. He was like,
Mm.
"Oh, her? Ask first."
Right.
Ask first.
You gotta ask.
But yeah, and then, I worked with, some people on the, Atlanta Housewives show,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Ooh.
it was interesting.
I
They're
love
interesting.
drama. I
The
love
show
drama.
is one thing, that's
Yeah.
another personality, and
On the
that's
show.
another thing. Those people, they have a personality. People mostly on these, real shows, what they call real,
Mm.
they have a that's acting, okay? That's good acting too. Um, because that's not a lot of times them in real life.
Mm-mm.
And it's unfortunate that we're portrayed in certain ways
Yeah.
because sometimes when you go, like how we started, you go in those spaces, certain
Yeah.
spaces, people expect that.
People, yeah. And I
People
think that
expect
that's
it.
why
Yeah.
sometimes you get the look when you're more elegant or you're more like just poised and they're just looking like, why is she not? Because no, that's not. I feel like it is good for us to enjoy our natural cultures and different things like that. Yeah, we like to dance. Yeah, we like certain types of music in certain places, but that's not us all the time. That's not the only thing about us, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. Like for instance, I traveled out the country a couple of years ago
Mm,
during the, can I say that word?
yeah.
During
The
the
C word.
19 thing. Okay.
The C
And
word.
I got a lot of pushback on that. Oh, this and that is happening and so on
Mm,
and so forth. I went over there like how you see me now. I had a pro at the time because it's not as humid, but it's hot, 100 and something degrees every day.
mm,
Um, but I chose to wear cultural clothing on a lower level, not no bright African stuff, not overdoing it, just like a
yeah.
little something every day. I don't know why, I just packed that in there. I actually felt cooler wearing
Mm.
that, not the dresses I would look the pretty
Yeah,
dresses.
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't wear those because I would have burnt up over there. The
Mm.
girls y'all be seeing on those pictures, it's hot.
And
They
where
do
did
it
they
for the
go? Where'd
pictures.
you go? I'm sorry.
I went to Egypt,
Oh.
Luxor, uh,
Ooh.
uh, it's a couple of places. I can't even remember them all.
Well, yeah, I
But
know
yeah,
it's
I
hot
went
over
there.
there. Yeah, that's
And the reason why I'm mentioning that is I acted like I do walking in those same rooms
mhm.
because over there, they are Iranians who live in Egypt, calling themselves Egyptians. Just like somebody come here and say, "Oh, I'm from Georgia," and they just lived here for a long time.
Mhm.
So, but while there were other people in our party, in our group. They were very out, loud dressed. They wore the big African things, the big bright things. They did a lot.
They wanted to be more African than the
And
Africans?
well, what happens is I learned, I like culture.
Mhm.
So I learned from watching cultural shows and being around some people
Yeah.
that be you at all times.
Mhm.
Because those people, they expected for them to spend money.
Mhm.
Me, they treated me differently. I would get asked first, "Where are you from?" I like that. Wow, it's good to see your hair. I was in a museum. 6 kids came up of other countries. The children will pickpocket you. I hate to say it, but that's true. So I didn't know what was going on. 6 children came running up to me, and I'm grabbing my purse, and I'm like, "What's going on?"
Oh,
you
Lord.
know, and they was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Oh.
When I tell you the story, you're gonna be like, "What?" And I was like, "What is going on?" They ran, got their parents, and they came back. They was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "What?" And they bowed, and I was like, Am I somebody over here? I didn't know I was famous." And they was like, "No, we never seen hair like that." Because even the other women in our party, they had extensions and other stuff added on,
Oh, okay.
no fault of their own. But I just wore this,
Yeah, you were just wore your
so
natural hair.
they was like, "I didn't understand." And I was like, "I don't understand." And they was like, "Oh, the black, brown people that come here got something that we see on TV. we don't see that.
Oh.
So I was famous for having my own hair. I took pictures with them. They went and got some more family members, some more friends. Let's stand by this statue. And I was like, oh, okay.
Instant celebrity.
Yes. And all the other people at my party was like, they ain't take no pictures with us. And I said, I didn't know I was famous. But it felt so good for other people to praise me just for being me.
Mm,
And I was like, there are many of us.
yeah.
Come to our country so you can come and see a lot of girls over there. We all wear our hair like this or
Right.
some kind of fashion that's just natural. And they was like, "Oh, I can't wait." And another time in Vegas, same thing. And I was like, why are people treating me this way?
Mhm.
I'm in a space in Vegas
Mm.
where there's a lot
Yeah,
going
it's a
on.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot out there on the street.
But I chose to be me and wear some comfortable clothing and just minding my business. And people came up, "Oh my gosh, where you from?" I was like, "What's going on
Right,
here?
like,
Why am I getting this question all the time? Do I look like I'm from somewhere?" And they say, "Yes."
look.
I say, "Oh, okay." And young, well, he was an elder man, an elder gentleman, and his daughter were from Britain.
Mhm.
And he was like, "So what brings you here?" Just came and sat beside us. We were having, I think I was having tea and a biscuit,
Mhm.
something like that. And he found that unusual
Oh, yeah,
because
that
people was
yeah.
getting pancakes. I'm like, it's early in the
Yeah,
morning. Who
it's
eating
early in the
that
morning.
heavy? Right.
I'm gonna be
And he
fooled
was,
by
and as we were talking, we was just talking about different things. I said, well, this is my birthday, and I just wanted to come out here and just,
Mm,
feel what it's like.
he's a
He was
birthday
like, do
boy.
you gamble? I said, no. He said, did you want to? I said, not when I got here. At first, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it because I hear all these stories. I
Mm,
said, when I got here, and I was like, no, let me see what it's like. I said, I can't figure out Vegas culture.
yeah,
I said, it just seems like a place where you just come and throw everything in and you hope for the best.
it's just a mixing
And
pot
he
in
was
my
like,
opinion.
you're so well spoken. And I felt at first offended. Then I had to say, wait a minute, why am I offended? So why did you say that? He said, because you are. He said, I don't met a lot of people here who are well spoken,
Mhm.
who look like you. He said, I'm not trying to be, funny or offensive, has because he's from another country,
Yeah.
offensive. He said, but you're well spoken. You said what you felt. You didn't like beat around the bush about it. And I said, I don't understand. He said, you articulated all your words correctly. I said, it's a lot of people who do that, who look like me. He said, yes. He said, but it's something about the way that you did it.
Mm.
It just made me feel like, oh wow, let me listen to her. You know what I mean?
See, that's
So,
definitely something I feel like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
oh no, you're fine.
But that's something I feel like people don't really grasp a lot is that it's not always the what you're saying or what you're doing, but the way that you do it or the way that you say it.
Right.
Because everybody perceives differently. Everybody has a different perception about things. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got to kind of take a step back. If somebody does take offense, like, why would they take offense to this? Let me see. Maybe I should ask them and see what about what I said or what I did, makes it offensive to you, per se. Because then you can kind of learn maybe, okay, well, sometimes I could perhaps, possibly just kind of tweak a little bit what I'm saying to
Right.
make it less offensive or hit a certain way. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've learned how to be tactful but firm and straight.
Mm,
I had to learn that. And in this society, with what they advertise to us about us, we have to change the narrative in real time.
mm,
And the only way to do that is to be you.
mm-hmm,
And you don't have to be the characters that we all are portrayed in the media.
mm.
We do not have to be those characters. At any time, we can say, this is not me, and walk away from
And
that.
walk away from it.
Yes.
Okay.
Change is something we can do instantly. It's up to you. Changing your mind is the first thing.
Okay, you see it? Change your mind. You could change your whole
You could
lifespan.
change your
Okay.
whole life.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you would like to leave to the audience before we conclude the episode?
Yes, always walk in you. Always be you, stay you, and love you.
Okay, I love that. I appreciate that. So I would like to conclude the episode. I appreciate Tiki for being my guest this time around. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing all
Oh,
the
yes.
information.
Thank you
It
for
was
having
very,
me.
yeah, it was very like insightful. Just, listening to all your experiences. It's really good to hear that coming from someone who's been through it. So I really appreciate it. You will be welcome back, most likely.
That's
Um,
wonderful.
but that will conclude another episode of Evolve Flow Express. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.